kinematics, we usually measure the velocity first, and from the velocity, remaining parameters can be calculated with. So what basically we have covered in the previous lecture, we started with the velocity, right? Then we find out the acceleration out of this. And acceleration is also having three components, right? Along x, y, and z direction. And acceleration is having, if you look at the total acceleration will have two components. One is called local, another is called convective. So local acceleration comes due to the single point, change in velocity. That is dou u y dou t. If I say the u is the resultant velocity, the derivative of the resultant velocity with respect to time will give the local acceleration. When you're talking about the convective acceleration talks about the change in velocity with respect to space. So like with respect to x, with respect to y, with respect to z, how your velocity variations are happening. If you take those all account, right, that is called convective acceleration. So convective acceleration was defined. Then immediately after that, you talked about different kind of flow pattern, how to visualize those. Right there, you said streamline, streak line, and path lines. When we talk about path lines, it talks about the individual particles, how they are moving from one point to another point. You are simply talking about that in path line case. When you talk about the streamline is an imaginary line, right, or curve drawn in a flow field in such a way that if you draw a tangent over it at any location, will give you the direction of resultant velocity. So only the streamlines can show you the direction of the flow field, right? Other lines cannot show you the direction of flow field. So if you want to find out the direction of flow field, right, or if you want to find out the resultant velocity, then you have to first know what is the streamline for the given flow field. So you need to derive the expression for the streamline for the given flow domain. Now flow domain may be two-dimensional, may be three-dimensional. So based on that, you can derive the expression for those. Then last one was the streak line. Streak line basically in most of the practical application we used to send the high velocity jet at very fast rates. It will be forming a single thin sheet kind of outlet when it's coming out. So all the particles will be aligned along a single line, right? They are basically exhausted from a single point that is having very narrow region, narrow area through which it is coming out. That is called streak line. And the last one that we define as timeline. So with respect to time at a single location, if you draw a line right perpendicular to the flow direction, so you will get a same molecules, right? It started from one point, it originated from t is equal to zero. If you are measuring its location, right, at t is equal to 1 second, all these particles are which are originated from t is equal to zero will be lying on that single line, right? That you are drawing perpendicular line, and that line is known as isoline, right? That is called isoline. So these all different kind of lines are basically being used for flow visualization. So whenever you are visualizing the flow, you need to draw certain sort of lines along it. That is also called as flow grid. Once you derive that flow grid, you will have an idea, right, how your flow is behaving around that object, whether those lines are getting distorted or they are without any disturbance moving parallel to the surface. So those all informations you will be getting out of that flow domain. So those all things were discussed. So we have discussed about velocity, right? That is the first thing. So always we talk about velocity vector, which is given by UA, UI, and VJ and WK. This is the standard, for three-dimensional case, we usually write velocity vector. And from this, you derive the acceleration, right? Acceleration is also having same short AX, AY, and EZ here, right? So this is the total acceleration or substantial, acceleration we used to say. Either total or substantial, both are same. So from here, you derive the differential form of this, which was something called dV by dt, right? And that is also known as dou v by dou t, right? And v and divergence of v. So it was something this kind of form you were getting, right, for acceleration in differential form. And this is the resultant velocity that we derived by considering the Eulerian approach. So we are following the Eulerian approach because there was a problem with Lagrangian approach, because for each and every molecules you have to require a separate equation, and it's very difficult to trace each and every individual particles while they are traveling from one point to another point. So problem will be slightly complex. So in order to make it very simple, right, we have gone for control volume approach. So these all defined. Then we define like call something called streamline equation, right? This is very important point. Streamline equation. So this was defined something called which will give you the direction. So if we are writing for three-dimensional case, we usually write like dx by u, dy by v, and dz by w. So this is called streamline equation. So based on the given domain velocity vector, these all velocity vectors will have function of x and y, z. So in this equation, if you look at all this, u will also be a function of x, y, z, and time variant may also come into picture. Similarly, v will be another function. These are separate functions, right? Of all these variables, these all variables will be present, right? Even w will also have another function, right? X, y, z, and t. Right. Now, depending on the magnitude of t, you can say this is steady flow or unsteady flow. If you are talking about steady flow, then time variance will not be there, t is equal to 1. Right. In that case, we can say this is a steady flow. If t having some value, right, then it is unsteady flow. So, in the equation of velocity vector, if you are getting t terms, that means it is a case of unsteady flow. Right. Otherwise, t will not be present. And once we finding out that, right, then we can go to find out the remaining things. Once you know the acceleration, right, you even find out the force by applying the, what we say, momentum equation. That still we have not discussed. Once we'll enter with the fluid dynamics, then we'll come to know about the momentum equation as well. So these are the, formulas which were derived in the previous lecture, right? Streamline concept and velocity acceleration following the Eulerian approach. So today we'll see, roughly around 4 to 5 numerical problems based on these simple, formulas. So if we take the first problem, right? So here's the first problem. For the velocity field, this is the equation given. Determine the velocity and acceleration of fluid flow at the point. Point is given 213 and t is equal to 1. So can any one of you tell me which type of flow it is?
Steady flow, sir.
It is steady, and another classification you tell me based on velocity field. Just look at the velocity field. How many coordinates are there?
Three-dimensional, sir.
It is two-dimensional. There is no z. You look at the equation. There is no z. There are only x and y. That means it is a case of steady two-dimensional flow, because only two variables, x and y. There is no z. So immediately you can say based on this, it is a case of 2D, right, steady flow, because time variant is still it is present, but it's not going to make any difference because t is equal to 1. So you can say the velocity vector which is given here is ui, vj, and wk. So this equation you can write is exactly equal to whatever is given here, 4x cube I, right, and tan x square y z, and plus 2t k. These all things are given. So just you equate this thing, you can get u is equal to 4x cube, right? V is equal to minus tan x square y, that you are getting from here, and w is equal to 2 times of t. That's what you are getting from this equation. Now, point is mentioned, right? This is the point at which we are going to find out. So at point 213, that means what is x, y, z is given, and t is equal to 1 is also given. So find out all these values. So u is equal to 4 into 2 cube, right? So this becomes 32, right? And similarly, v, that is minus tan into 2 square into 1, right? This became minus 40, and W became 2, it's just simply T. So the resultant velocity, right, that you need to find out. So just you put under this U square, V square, and W square. So this is the resultant velocity. 6. Okay. Meter per second. This is the first answer because it has been asked, right? Velocity. Then we'll go for acceleration. Now, acceleration is slightly lengthy. We have to apply the same equation, right? Convective local acceleration. So the formula need to be, remembered by you, right? How to start with. So acceleration, right? When we are calculating acceleration, so we can start with simple thing that is Ax. Ax is that it is dou uy dou t plus u dou uy dou x. This formula you have to remember. So this is u plus v dou u divided by dou y plus w dou u divided by dou z. This is for one term we are writing. Similarly, when you are writing ay, just replace these all y v, right? When you are writing az, replace these all y w, right? And these terms will be repeating one, right? Just as it is. So directly I am writing dou u y dou t. When you look at the u, there is no time variance, so this is going to be zero, right? So first term, directly straightforward, we can say it is zero, and you just put the value of u, and then differentiation of u with respect to x, this will become 12 times of x square, because just you differentiating this 12 x square. Then put the value of y, that is 10 x square y. So do we have y in this? No. So this term is also going to be zero. And last term, if you put w and there is no z also in this is also zero, right? So two terms are basically going to be zero. So we got ax is equal to 48 times of x5. So this is one thing, right? Similarly, you go for ay, make ay. So I will make it very simple. Keep in mind everywhere, right? In this bracket, we are using now small v, right? And v value is this, which is given minus tan x square y. So the moment you are differentiating that with respect to time, dou v by dou t, right? This is becoming first term 0 plus now u will come. So you just put here as it is u, this is u value for x cube, and now dou v by dou x, right? So v is here, dou v by dou x, if you do this is minus 20xy and 20xy, so minus 20xy plus now v will come. So put the value of v minus tan x square y. Now dou v by dou y, instead of dou u by dou y here, dou v by dou y, because we are talking about ay now. Dou v by dou y, just look at this term, you will be getting minus 10 times of x square. And the last term, do we have z in this? We don't have z. So if the moment you put dou v by dou z, you will get 0. So last term is also 0. So just solve this out. What is you are getting out of this? Ay is equal to just multiply inside. So you will be getting minus 80, right? This is 80, and x4y is the first term, and this become 100, right? x4y, if you just multiply this, you will get plus 20 x4y. So this is your ay. Similarly, you go for ez, right? Az. So this ax, ay, az. We are separately finding it out. Then finally we'll put it together in a single equation at the point, and we can find it out. So go for az again. So z value is basically w is basically 2 times of t, right? So w is equal to 2t is given, right? And better you write here, that will be very easy for you. Minus 10 x square y, which is already given, and u was 4x cube, right? These are all given data. Now, the first term dou w by dou t will have some value. We'll get 2 out of this, dou w by dou t plus, do we have x in this? No, we don't have x. So the moment you put u dou w by dou x, this term is 0. plus we don't have y in this, right? So v into dou y is 0, and last w, and we don't have even z in this, so this term is also 0, we can say, right? So finally what you got out of this, you got this value as 2. Clear? So now you are having ax, ay, az, everything you calculated. So finally, you can put like the net acceleration is axi, right? Ay is a, and a is at k. So put the value. What is the value here? 48, right? X5 is the first component I, and second component is coming plus 20. All right, what is the value? X4y, this is j plus 2 times of k that you got. So now at point, whatever point is given 213, right? Use that one, 213, and t is equal to 1. Find out this acceleration. So put the value over here, right? Tell me the first value, how much it is coming. So this is x5, so x is here, 2 to the power 5, right? And multiply by 48. 1536 I. What is the second value?
320, sir.
320 times of j, and last is as it is. So this is my acceleration vector. So the magnitude you can find out. Magnitude of acceleration is equal to under root. Everything take inside, whole square plus 320 whole square plus 2 whole square. Then you can easily find it out. Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Okay. Take this problem now. Problem number 2. A flow is specified by the velocity vector. This is given. Determine the velocity and acceleration at point m.213. X square y, directly you can say x square y, all right, and small v is equal to y square z, and w is equal to minus whatever is given, 2xy z plus y z square. These all things are given. So at point 213, find out the u, right? So get the value of u. So if put 2 here, this will become 4, 4 into 1, that is 4, right? And v will become 1 into 3, 3, and the w become, let's look at x, y, z, that is 6, 6 into 12, 12, plus 9, 21, right? You are getting this. Now, so resultant velocity, just put everything inside and solve this out. So 4 square plus 9 plus minus 21 square. So what is the final answer?
So 21.58 meter per second.
21.58. So we can say approximately 21.6 meter per second. So this is the first answer. Now go for acceleration, right? Fastly. So So you are revising the same concept. So no need to write formula again, but in your examination, better you write the formula. It is very easy for you to understand. So go with Ax first. So Ax is equal to dou u by dou t. Just I'm just directly solving. You write the formula. So dou u by dou t. This term is 0 plus u. Just as it is, you put u, and dou u by dou x become 2x times of y plus v. V is this one. Look at this, y is present, so dou u by dou y become x square. But you look at here, there is no z term, so third term directly straightforward you put 0. So you got only these two. So just solve this, get the value right, and so finally you can say ax is equal to, just you put here 2x cube y square, right, and this becomes something else. So 2x cube y square the first term plus x square y square and z. So this is another term. So better you at the point itself you find out the value 213, right? So find out the AX 28, right? This is the first thing that you have calculated AX, right? Similarly, you go for AY and similarly go for AZ. So total acceleration magnitude, if you are calculating, that will be coming around 126 0.2 meter square per second. So this is the answer for this. Total acceleration is coming 126.2. So AZ is 123. Okay, now we'll go for the next. So given the steady two-dimensional velocity distribution where u is equal to kx, v is equal to minus ky, and w is equal to 0, where k is a positive constant, compute and plot, right? Compute and plot the streamline for this flow, including the directions. Directions also we need to find it out. So these all things we have to do here. So straightforward you start. It's a two-dimensional case of velocity. So velocities are given u is equal to kx, right, and v is equal to minus ky, and w is equal to 0. It is clearly given. And no other parameters are given, and k is a positive constant, so this is a constant, keep it as a constant. So now for a two-dimensional case, for two-dimensional flow, equation of streamline usually given by very simple equation, right, that we have derived, that is dx divided by u and dy divided by v. This is equation number 1. Just put all these values, right? The moment you put the value, this will become dx divided by x is equal to minus times of dy divided by y, because this is minus. We got this. Now what you need to do, just simply integrate. Integrate both the terms. So 1 by x dx integration will be called ln x is equal to minus ln of y plus another constant, so ln of c I will say. Take this term this side. So if you bring this side, this will become ln x plus ln of y is equal to ln of c. So ln x, ln y, you can add these two values by multiplication. So you can write ln xy is equal to ln m of c, which can further be written as x into y is equal to constant, right? This is a constant. What is this equation is? X into y is equal to constant is an hyperbolic equation, right? So based on the value of xy, right, in the coordinates, we are having total 4 coordinates. We are talking about positive 5, where both values are positive, then positive, negative, 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 positive. So if you want to draw the behavior of the streamline in all the 4 quadrants, you can get the behavior, and also you can find out the directions. And now thing is that how to find out the directions. So in order to find out the direction, you have to look at these velocity components. So if you look at the u value for any positive value of x, u always will be positive. For any positive value of y, v always negative. If v is negative, means the flow is coming vertically downward, right? V will be positive if you are going vertically upward, right? But for a positive value of all the quadrants x and y are positive, in that case u will be positive, but v still will be negative. And reverse is true in the case of negative y and positive x, right? Negative x. So negative y and negative x is there, and u will be become negative. When u become negative, that means it is flowing in the negative x direction, right? And when y is becoming positive, means v is becoming positive. In that case, we can say it is flowing parallel to the positive y direction. So like that, directions can be identified, and w is zero. So this is the equation of hyperbola. Directly we can say this is the equation of hyperbola that we got. So for any value of x and y in four quadrant, it will be showing the family of hyperbola. So now we are going to put the diagram. So up to here, any doubt? I don't think there will be any doubt. It's simple equation. Now we have to plot the streamline behavior. So first and most important task is to just write these equations u and v, because these are required, right, to find out the directions. So just draw two vertical coordinates, right, like this. So I can say this is positive x, and this direction is positive y. So this direction we are going is negative x, right, and this direction we are traveling with is minus y axis, like that. This is the origin point. So if x is becoming 0 and y is becoming 0, then you are here. Then you are here. So origin can be considered as your stagnation point, right? Stagnation point usually defined as a point at which velocity is 0. So it is 0. Now, if y is equal to 0 and x is having some positive value, you will be getting the flow direction in positive x-axis. If I say that y is 0 and x value is negative, u will be negative, that means you will be going in this direction, right? This is possibility is there. Similarly, this possibility is there when y is negative, but x is 0, you will be going along the positive y direction, right? Similarly, opposite of that, when y is negative and x is 0, you can be going in this direction. So this origin point is basically your, you can say, stagnation point. That also we have not defined, but I am saying here stagnation point is something at which resultant flow velocity is 0, right? All the velocity components becomes 0. Now look at the first quadrant. If you look at the first quadrant, x and y both are positive in this, right? When x and y both are positive, just look at the u. U will become positive, but v will become negative. That means v will be flowing vertically downward, right? While u will be you will be flowing right parallel to the x-axis. So if you are considering both, like in first quadrant, when we are talking about in first quadrant, where x and y both are positive, we'll have n values of x and y here. We can have 1 comma 1, we can have 2 comma 2, we can have 2 comma 3, any positive values, right? So you can draw a different kind of curve for every coordinates. So let's suppose for one coordinate you are drawing one curve. So hyperbola usually we draw like this, right? Now, as I said that for positive value, v is negative, so v is going vertically down, so I can show direction like this, and u is going along the positive y direction, so I can say like this. So direction we have already clearly identified. So this is for one value of any value of coordinate. Similarly, you can draw for another value of coordinate. So this kind of curve we will be getting on if you keep on drawing for different kind of different values of coordinates, right? So you can say 1 2 3, right, like that. So you can say plus 1. These are the, this is the value of constant, right? Plus 1, plus 2, and plus 3, right, like that. These are the constant. All right. Here x is negative, y is positive, is flow will be going vertically up and following like this, right? So this kind of thing will happen. So v is negative and u is also negative here. X is equal to negative and y is equal to positive. So here flow direction will be something different. So if you want to draw here, here you will be getting this kind of things. So this is the direction. Clear. So this is for another thing. Here also you can put plus. I mean here all things is minus. So minus, minus two and minus three. These are all constant values. And remaining thing also will be something like this. So here I am drawing again. Right. Pattern will be something like this. The following, and here it is following like this. So pattern is something like this. Right. In this quadrant, and here just opposite. So here it will be following like this. Draw it perfectly. Right here I am not able to draw that. So here it will be going like this, right? And here it is going like this. So here this is still minus, so minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and here it will become positive 1, positive 2, and one more you can draw, right? This become positive 3. So this is your streamline pattern. Problem, and fastly we'll go for solving this because we are having only some 4 or 5 minutes. We'll go fastly for this. So just look at this equation. So this is a three-dimensional case, right? X, Y, Z all are present. So you can like directly equation of streamline dx divided by u is equal to dy by v is equal to, sorry, is equal to dz divided by w. This is equation number one. Just substitute all the values, so you can write dx by x is equal to dy by y is equal to minus dz divided by 2 times of z, right? We can put. Now this is our standard equation. So now how to solve this? So we have to do some arrangement, right? Directly in a single go we cannot solve this. So what we'll do, we write like this as 1, this as 2, and this as 3. So separately we will calculate. First we will consider 1 and 2, then we'll take 1 and 3, and we'll try to, what we say, interrelate these. So take first case, right? Taking 1 and 2, you solve this. So just integration, right? So dx by x is equal to dy by y. If you just solve this, you can get ln of x is equal to ln of y plus ln of c. So take this side, right? If you're taking this side and if you do some arrangement, right, you can get something, or you just you add these two values. You can say x is equal to y times of, take this as a constant one. This is number two. So at point, right? So you can find here 2, 2, 4. 2, 4. Just put the value here 2, 2. So constant 1 is becoming 1, right? You got the value of constant. Put it. After putting back here, you can get first equation of streamline as equal to x is equal to y. This is equation number 3. So this you got, right? By combination of these two. Now you go for next combination. We are first. So take first and third. First and third. So doing so, you can say dxyx is equal to minus z divided by 2 times of z. Just you integrate this. So this is becoming ln z divided by 2. You take outside ln of z plus ln of c. You can say take this term this side. So if you are bringing this here, this will become 1 by 2 ln of z is equal to ln of c. So 1 by 2 you bring over here. So ln z to the power 1 by 2, you can say. Alright. So then you multiply here inside. So you can write ln x into z to the power 1 by 2. Right. Over here is equal to ln of c. This is c2 because second constant. So from here you can say x into z to the power 1 by 2 is equal to constant. At point 2 to 4, value here 2 and 2, and the 2 into 4 to the power 1 by 2, this will become constant equal to 4. So you are getting at 2 to 4 value of constant, that you will be getting around 4. So once you know this, substitute over here. So by substituting over here, write this value over here, you can say x is equal to 4 divided by 4 divided by this term. This we can say under root z. This is equation number 4. Clear? This we got. Just you look at here, x is equal to y. This is one equation. X is equal to 4y under root z. This is the second equation. So we can combining from 3 and 4, we can say right directly from third and fourth, we can have what you can say out of this. X is equal to y is equal to 4 divided by under root z. So this is the required equation of streamline.